Atlanta nightlife turned into absolute chaos when Bambi was allegedly dragged out of a club. After getting into a vicious fight with none other than Scrappy's rumored new girl, the shocking scene reportedly went down in front of a packed crowd, with phones recording every wild second. Witnesses claim the altercation started with heated words, but it quickly escalated into a full-on brawl, forcing security to intervene and literally pull Bambi out of the building. Social media is already on fire, with clips of the fight being shared faster than wildfire, fans choosing sides, and insiders dropping whispers that this was only the beginning of a much bigger scandal. The question now isn't just about what went down that night, it's whether this explosive fight signals the official end of any chance of reconciliation between Bambi and Scrappy. It was supposed to be just another flashy night in Atlanta's Club Scene, mix of champagne, cameras, and that wild energy that only love and hip-hop Atlanta stars know how to bring. But by the end of the night, Bambi wasn't just another guest enjoying herself. Instead, she became the headline, the subject of a shocking viral scandal after a brutal fight with Scrappy's rumored new girl that left her being dragged, literally dragged, out of the club by security in front of hundreds of screaming witnesses. To understand how things spiraled so far out of control, you have to rewind and look at the months leading up to this jaw-dropping moment. Bambi and Scrappy's relationship has been on life support for a long time. From endless rumors of infidelity to Bambi's constant posts suggesting she was tired of the disrespect, it seemed like their marriage was hanging by a thread. Fans have followed the messy ups and downs closely, with Bambi often playing the role of the loyal wife while Scrappy's name was tied to one scandal after another. But the whispers about Scrappy's new girl had been growing louder in recent weeks. Allegedly spotted with him at private events, and even tagged in cryptic social media posts that seemed to be aimed directly at Bambi. The mysterious woman was becoming a bigger and bigger presence in the gossip blogs. For many fans, the writing was on the wall. Scrappy had moved on, even if Bambi wasn't ready to admit it. And then came the night of the fight, the night that proved those rumors weren't just idle talk. According to multiple witnesses, Bambi walked into the club already on edge. She was with a group of friends, looking stunning as always. But insiders say she seemed tense, like she knew something or someone was waiting for her. Sure enough, not even an hour later, Scrappy arrived with his rumored new girl by his side. The energy in the club shifted instantly. Phones went up. Fans started whispering. Everyone knew this was going to explode. Was just a matter of when. Reports claim that Bambi spotted Scrappy's girl across the VIP section, and from that moment on, her focus was locked in. Witnesses say she tried to play it cool at first, sipping her drink and laughing with her friends, but her eyes kept darting in their direction. When Scrappy's new girl allegedly leaned in close to him, whispering something in his ear with a smirk, that was the last straw. The confrontation didn't start with fists, started with words. One fan who recorded the moment claimed Bambi stormed across the club, heels clicking on the floor as the crowd parted like she was about to deliver a speech. Instead, she pointed her finger directly at the woman and shouted, "You really think you're going to replace me? It'll never be me." Gasps filled the room. Scrappy, caught in the middle, tried to step in, but his rumored new girl wasn't backing down. Eyewitnesses say she clapped back instantly, yelling, "At least he wants me around, unlike you." The crowd went wild, phones raised higher, flashes going off, people screaming as if they were watching a live reality show unfold. What happened next was chaos. Drinks went flying, voices rose, and before anyone could stop it, Bambi lunged. The two women grabbed each other, hair was pulled, and the screams in the club grew deafening. Security rushed in, but by then, the fight was already in full swing. Fans who were there describe it as one of the most violent, messy, and shocking altercations they'd ever seen in an Atlanta club. And then came the moment that blew up across social media. Security dragging Bambi out of the club. Witnesses say she fought to get back at Scrappy's girl, yelling and cursing the entire time, her hair a mess, her outfit torn. But her anger boiling over so fiercely that it took multiple guards to pull her away. Clips of that exact moment Bambi's heels scraping the floor as security hauled her out went instantly viral on TikTok and Instagram. Within hours, hashtags like hashtag Bambi dragged out and hashtag Scrappy drama were trending, with fans debating who really started the fight and who should be blamed for Bambi. It wasn't just a fight, it was public humiliation. The cameras caught everything, the blogs picked it apart, and the narrative quickly shifted from a personal dispute to a full-on media circus. Insiders close to Bambi claim she's furious not only at Scrappy's alleged betrayal, but also at the fact that his new girl seems so eager to provoke her in public. On the other hand, fans are already pointing fingers at Bambi, accusing her of letting her emotions get the best of her and turning what could have been a silent power move into a viral embarrassment. She should have ignored it, one fan tweeted. Now she looks pressed and desperate. Another wrote, "Nah, Bambi had every right. Imagine seeing your husband parading around with someone new. Anyone would snap." And that's where the stage is set for the next shocking developments. The fallout, the leaked footage, and the reactions from both Scrappy and his so-called new girl. Because if this fight showed us anything, it's that Bambi is done playing quiet wife and she's ready to fight, literally. For her respect, the aftermath of that club fight didn't just stop when security dragged Bambi out the front doors. In fact, that was only the beginning of the chaos. What makes this story even wilder is how quickly the footage spread online. How fans dissected every frame of the video, and how Scrappy's alleged new girl used the moment to push the drama. Even further, within hours of the incident, the first shaky clips appeared on Twitter and Instagram. You could see Bambi screaming as she was held back by two massive security guards, her arms flailing, her voice cutting through the music like a warning siren. And then there she was, Scrappy's rumored new girl, standing in the background, with a smug smile plastered on her face. That single image blew up across social media. Fans instantly interpreted it as a victory pose, as if she had won the night by not only keeping Scrappy at her side, but also making Bambi lose her cool in public. But here's the twist. Insiders claim the fight wasn't just spontaneous. According to someone who claimed to be close to the situation, Scrappy's new girl allegedly provoked Bambi on purpose. She wanted to make a scene, the insider said. She knew Bambi would react if she got too close to Scrappy. That smile in the video wasn't random, it was planned. This revelation shocked fans. Suddenly, people weren't just debating who threw the first punch. They were questioning whether Bambi had been set up. Things escalated further when a longer version of the leaked video surfaced online. In the extended footage, you can hear Scrappy's new girl allegedly whispering something to Bambi right before the first shove. Though the audio is muffled, fans swear she said, "He doesn't want you anymore." If true, that would explain why Bambi snapped so quickly and why her rage was so uncontrollable. The video also showed Scrappy himself trying to pull the two women apart, but not in the way fans expected. Instead of immediately protecting Bambi, many viewers felt Scrappy was shielding his new girl more, standing in front of her and yelling at Bambi to calm down. That detail didn't sit well with longtime fans of his marriage. Scrappy never defended Bambi. One viral comment read, "That tells you everything you need to know." Meanwhile, bloggers and gossip pages went into overdrive. Screenshots from the fight were shared with captions like "the end of Bam and Scrappy." And meet the new girl who made Bambi snap. The mystery woman at the center of it all suddenly became a trending figure herself, with people digging into her Instagram, finding photos of her wearing jewelry that looked suspiciously similar to pieces Scrappy had once gifted Bambi. The narrative shifted again, with Scrappy actually recycling gifts from his marriage and giving them to his new flame. But the real twist came when Bambi decided not to stay silent. Just one day after the fight, she went live on Instagram, her hair tied back, her eyes filled with fury. Fans flooded in by the thousands, desperate to hear her side of the story. And she didn't hold back. I don't care what y'all saw. In that video, Bambi began, her voice shaking but powerful. What you didn't see is that girl in my face, disrespecting me, trying to humiliate me in public. I ain't the one to play with. Y'all know me held it down for Scrappy. For years, I gave him loyalty. I gave him my all. And this is what I get. Him parading some side chick around like I don't exist. Nah, I wasn't about to let that slide. The comments went wild. Hearts and fire emojis filled the screen, while others begged for more details. And then Bambi dropped her biggest bombshell yet. Y'all think she's just some random? She'd been around too long. Longer than y'all think. That's why I'm done. I'm done trying to save a man who don't even want to be saved. That one line, "she'd been around longer than y'all think," set social media ablaze. Bloggers jumped on the quote, speculating that Scrappy's alleged new girl wasn't new at all. Was she someone who'd been in the picture for months, or even years while Bambi was still fighting for her marriage? Suddenly, fans were combing through old photos, looking for clues of Scrappy being linked to this woman in the past. And the fallout didn't end there. While Bambi was going off on live, Scrappy himself posted a cryptic Instagram story just hours later. It was just a black screen with the words, "Y'all don't know the half." The message only made things worse, fueling speculation that there were even more secrets behind the fight. And maybe even behind his marriage with Bambi. But the real shocker came when Scrappy's alleged new girl decided to add fuel to the fire, in what seemed like a direct response to Bambi's live. She posted a picture of herself holding Scrappy's chain with the caption, "He chose me." The photo went instantly viral. Fans couldn't believe she had the audacity to post something so bold just hours after Bambi's emotional breakdown. This is where the first big twist locks in. This wasn't just a fight in a club, but was the public unraveling of Bambi and May. Scrappy's marriage pushed to the surface by a woman who wasn't afraid to play dirty. And with social media amplifying every single move, the drama was no longer private. It was out there for the world to judge, dissect, and turn into memes. But if Bambi's Instagram Live and Scrappy's cryptic posts shook the internet, the next part of the story would break it entirely. Because behind the scenes, even more damning evidence was about to come out. Evidence that could change everything fans thought they knew about this love triangle. If fans thought Bambi's Instagram Live was the climax, they were dead wrong. What came next was far more explosive, far more dangerous. And it left the entire love and hip-hop community in absolute shock. Within 24 hours of the fight, a series of leaked audios and DMEs began circulating online. At first, they looked like fake fan edits, but the voices and the screenshots were too real to ignore. The leaks appeared to show direct messages between Scrappy's alleged new girl and none other than Scrappy himself. One message, dated weeks before the club fight, read, "You know, I can't stand how she still calls herself your wife. I'm your future. Let's make her see that." Another message, allegedly from Scrappy, replied with a heart emoji, and the words, "You already know what it is, baby." Fans lost their minds. These weren't just playful texts, they were outright proof, at least in the court of public opinion, that Scrappy's new girl had been in the picture long before. His split with Bambi was official, and if the timestamps were real, they overlapped with the final months of his marriage. Then came the audio. A mysterious 2-minute clip surfaced on Twitter, allegedly recorded by someone in Scrappy's camp. In the audio, Scrappy's voice can be heard saying, "I told Bam I was done, but she don't listen. I got somebody who actually understands me now. I ain't going back." The clip was raw, muffled, but undeniably authentic sounding. For Bambi's supporters, it was the confirmation they needed. Scrappy wasn't just moving on. He was actively disrespecting the woman who had stood by him through years of drama. The reveal hit Bambi hard. Just hours after the leaks went viral, she appeared again on social media. This time, not fiery, but broken. Sitting in her car, makeup smudged, she spoke directly into the camera. I knew he was lying. I knew he was. Playing me, but to hear it. To hear him say that like I was nothing. Y'all, it hurts. Hurts deep. I gave that man everything. Everything. Her words broke the internet. Hashtags like #JusticeForBam and #ScrappyExposed began trending, with fans calling out Scrappy for humiliating Bambi on such a public stage. Even celebrities started weighing in. One Atlanta rapper tweeted, "Never thought I'd see Bam treated like this. She deserves better." But the shocking reveal didn't stop there. The same gossip page that dropped the initial leaks hinted that they had even more receipts, including photos of Scrappy and his new girl together at a private event weeks before the fight. The photos, which showed them standing close and whispering in each other's ears, were allegedly taken at a birthday party for one of Scrappy's friends. The kicker: Bambi wasn't there. This was the point where the narrative shifted from simple cheating allegations to a full-blown betrayal saga. Fans started putting the timeline together and realizing that Scrappy's new girl wasn't a rebound. She had been in the shadows for months, maybe even longer. And then came the wildest reveal of all. A so-called insider went live on TikTok, claiming that the woman Bambi fought in the club wasn't just Scrappy's new girl. She was allegedly someone Bambi knew personally. According to this insider, the woman had been around the couple socially in the past, smiling in Bambi's face, while secretly building a relationship with Scrappy behind her back. She ain't no stranger, the insider said. That's why Bam lost it in the club. This wasn't random. This was personal. The internet exploded. If this was true, then the fight wasn't just about a man, it was about betrayal on the deepest level. Fans began scouring old cast photos, old group outings, even tagged Instagram posts to see if the mystery woman had ever appeared in the background. Sure enough, screenshots began circulating of Scrappy Bambi and the alleged new girl all in the same room at past events. Bambi's fans went nuclear. Imagine thinking you got a friend and the whole time she plotting on your man. 1. Viral tweet read. Others demanded that the woman reveal herself publicly instead of hiding behind private accounts and cryptic posts. But here's the kicker. The alleged new girl wasn't backing down. Instead of denying anything, she leaned into the scandal. Began posting cryptic captions like, "The truth always comes out, and if he wanted to, he would." And he did. One post even showed her in front of a mirror with the caption, "Still unbothered." This is when things truly escalated out of control. Bambi's supporters began dragging her online, while Scrappy's new girl started getting death threats in her DMs. Both sides of the fandom were spiraling, turning what started as a messy fight into a full-scale war. And just when fans thought they had it all figured out, another shocking layer surfaced. Rashida was allegedly spotted comforting Bambi after the fight. Multiple blogs claimed the two women were seen together in Atlanta, sitting at a quiet restaurant deep in conversation. The idea that Rashida, who had her own long history of dealing with Kirk's betrayals, was now bonding with Bambi over Scrappy's, sent fans into overdrive. Were they plotting to expose both men together? The drama was at its boiling point. Between the leaked messages, the explosive audio, and the revelation that the new girl wasn't a stranger at all, fans realized this wasn't just a club fight. It was the unraveling of years of loyalty, friendships, and love. And yet, through all of this, Scrappy himself remained quiet, only fueling speculation that his silence meant guilt. But insiders claimed Scrappy was actually preparing his own response, one that would flip the entire situation upside down. Because if the whispers were true, Scrappy was about to leak his own receipts, and they could change everything we thought we knew about Bambi, the fight, and the so-called new girl, just when everyone thought the story couldn't possibly get any messier. The twist no one expected came crashing down like dynamite. For days, the internet had dragged Scrappy through the mud, painting him as the villain who ditched his wife for someone new. But insiders suddenly dropped a bombshell that flipped the script hand this time. The spotlight was about to shift back onto Bambi. A well-known Atlanta blogger posted a cryptic tweet. "Be careful who you defend. Bam ain't as innocent as y'all think. Receipts dropping tonight." Within hours, screenshots began circulating across Twitter and Instagram. These weren't just random fan-made edits. These looked like real private conversations allegedly between Bambi and another man. One of the leaked DMs showed Bambi allegedly telling a mystery contact, "He too busy playing family man with everybody but me. You already know where my heart at." The contact allegedly replied, "Say the word and I'll pull up. You know I got you." The implication. Bambi wasn't just the hurt wife. She may have already been emotionally checked out of her marriage and entertaining someone else behind. Scrappy's back. Fans were floored. Wait, so Bam was cheating too? One viral comment read, "This whole storyline is backwards." Another fan wrote, "I defended her like crazy, but if this is true, she's just as messy as Scrappy." The tide of public opinion began shifting fast, and then came the real twist. Scrappy himself finally broke his silence. He went live on Instagram, visibly angry, pacing around his living room as he spoke. "Man, y'all really think y'all know everything. Everybody quick to drag me, call me dirty, call me a cheater. But what about Bam? What about what she was doing behind my back? Y'all think I ain't got proof? Man, please. I've been keeping quiet, out of respect, but I ain't. Gone, let the internet keep crucifying me while she play the victim. Play the victim." He didn't outright show the receipts on live, but the way he spoke made it clear he was holding on to something big, something that could change the narrative in his favor. Fans immediately began speculating. What was Scrappy hiding? Could he actually prove that Bambi wasn't the loyal partner everyone assumed she was? That's when the insider who had teased earlier leaks dropped another wild detail, allegedly. The man in Bambi's leaked DMs wasn't just a random Atlanta figure. Was a rapper? The claim sent shockwaves across social media. Who could it be? Within minutes, names were being thrown around, with fans combing through her likes, her follows, and past interactions to find clues. To make matters worse, another video surfaced, showing Bambi at what looked like a private party standing a little too close to this alleged rapper. Though blurry and grainy, fans swore they recognized him. And the gossip pages had a field day piecing it together. The narrative now wasn't just about Scrappy moving. It was about both Scrappy and Bambi allegedly playing games behind each other's backs while keeping up appearances for the cameras. And for viewers of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, it felt like watching the storyline of the century unfold in real time. The twist didn't just rock the fans, it divided the cast. Rumors began swirling that Rashida, who had comforted Bambi just days earlier, suddenly pulled back after hearing the leaks. One insider claimed Rashida told friends, "I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm just trying to stay out of it." Meanwhile, Yandi allegedly sent Bambi a message of support, reminding her how the internet can twist stories. But insiders whispered that even Yandi had doubts after seeing the supposed receipts. And then came the cruelest part. Scrappy's new girl, the same one Bambi had fought in the club, started throwing major shade online. She reposted one of the gossip blogs with the caption, "Ain't so innocent now, huh?" And later added, "Funny how tables turn." The fans were eating it up. Suddenly, the narrative had shifted from poor Bambi versus Scrappy the villain to both Bambi and Scrappy are messy, toxic, and caught up in their own lies. But the twist didn't stop there. The blogger who had been dropping leaks hinted that there was one final piece of the puzzle that could end both of their reputations for good. A supposed club surveillance video from the night of the fight that hadn't been released yet. According to the blogger, the footage showed more than just a brawl. It allegedly revealed a shocking interaction between Bambi and Scrappy's new girl before fists were thrown. something that could explain why the fight escalated so fast. The mere mention of this unreleased video sent fans spiraling. What could it show? Did Bambi attack first? Did the new girl provoke her? Or could there be an even darker secret hiding in plain sight? For now, the unanswered questions only fueled the fire. The leaked dims Scrappy's live, and the whispers about Bambi's possible side fling completely flipped the narrative. What started as a story about Bambi being dragged out of a club had now evolved into a twisted tale of betrayal, secrets, and double lives on both sides. And the craziest part? Insiders promised the next leaks would make everything look completely different once again. Because according to them, the final video wasn't just proof of what happened. That night Tit was going to expose something neither Bambi nor Scrappy ever wanted the world to see. The internet didn't just react, it exploded. The fight clips were already viral, but once the alleged DMS and Scrappy's heated live entered the picture, the story transformed from messy gossip to a full-blown cultural conversation. On Twitter, fans were split right down the middle. Some were still fiercely defending Bambi, claiming the receipts were fake and part of Scrappy's PR spin. One viral tweet with over 40,000 likes read, "Y'all really gone believe DMs with no context. Please, Scrappy been cheating for years. He just mad Bambi ain't putting up with it no more." But the opposition was just as loud. Another tweet, equally viral, said, "Nah, I don't care what anybody says. Those messages looked real. Bam was out here playing victim while plotting on the low. Messy on both sides." Instagram gossip blogs fanned the flames. Pages like The Neighborhood Tea and Atlanta Tea Room posted side-by-side comparisons of Bambi's past posts with the alleged rapper she was linked to. The comment sections turned into war zones, with thousands of fans debating who was dirtier, Bambi or Scrappy. And the Love and Hip Hop cast. They couldn't keep quiet. Kata Dixon, Scrappy's ex, added her own fuel to the fire. In a shady Instagram story, she wrote, "Tables always turn. That's why you've got to be careful who you play with." Fans immediately took it as a dig at Bambi, especially given their long history of beef. Carly Red, of course, had to chime in. During a live session, she laughed while saying, "Chilly, the way this drama keep unfolding, we don't even need producers no more, giving us storylines for free." Viewers couldn't tell if Carly was amused, messy, or both. Probably both. Even Rashida, who usually keeps her distance from the most toxic drama, was dragged into the conversation after old footage of her consoling Bambi resurfaced online. Fans spammed her comments asking if she regretted defending her, though Rashida didn't respond directly. She posted a cryptic quote to her Instagram story. "Sometimes you've got to step back and let folks tell on themselves." That only fueled more speculation. Meanwhile, Scrappy's new girl seemed to be reveling in the attention. She posted a selfie with the caption, "Unbothered," alongside a wink emoji. Minutes later, she reposted a fan's meme that showed Bambi being dragged out of the club with the caption, "Somebody come get they wife." The shade was undeniable. Industry voices also began weighing in. A few Atlanta rappers, who were friends of Scrappy, hinted that he was being unfairly villainized. One even tweeted, "If y'all knew half the stuff that went down behind the scenes, y'all would shut up." That cryptic message had fans convinced that even more shocking truths were waiting to be exposed. What made things worse was the timing. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had just wrapped filming for the season, and now fans were begging producers to add cameras back on. "This right here is the real storyline," one fan wrote. "Y'all better not let this season end without showing what's happening in real time." Clips from the fight also began crossing over from gossip blogs to mainstream outlets. Entertainment sites picked it up, framing it as one of the most dramatic celebrity brawls of the year. Suddenly, people who weren't even fans of Love and Hip Hop were chiming in, asking, who are these people and why is their drama better than scripted TV? But perhaps the most brutal reaction came from the fans themselves. Memes flooded the internet, turning both Bambi and Scrappy into trending topics. One viral meme showed Bambi being dragged with the caption, "When you try to fight for your man but forget he's already moved on." Another showed Scrappy's angry live with a filter that read, "Boy, if you don't calm down." The reactions weren't just online either. According to insiders, the drama caused chaos behind the scenes of the Atlanta club circuit. Promoters who once booked Bambi for appearances reportedly pulled back, not wanting the smoke from potential fights. Meanwhile, Scrappy's new girl allegedly got a wave of new offers, everything from hosting gigs to modeling opportunities, simply because her name was now trending. And while the fans laughed, debated, and chose sides, the cast itself was more divided than ever. Some insiders claimed producers were already scrambling to schedule an emergency reunion special to capitalize on the drama. Others whispered that Bambi was considering suing the club for not protecting her, while Scrappy's camp was preparing their own wave of receipts to drop in the coming days. But the most shocking reaction came late that night when an anonymous account on Twitter dropped a chilling claim. "Y'all arguing about who cheated, but wait until the real footage comes out?" The fight wasn't about no cheating, it was about money. And trust me, when the tape drops, it's going to expose everything. The internet lost its mind. What money? Whose money? Could this be connected to Scrappy's alleged financial issues that had been whispered about for months? Fans speculated that the brutal fight may have been about much more than jealousy, may have been about betrayal on a business level. Suddenly, the scandal wasn't just about infidelity or new girlfriends. It was about a darker truth that nobody had seen coming, just when fans thought the chaos couldn't get any wilder. The final twist flipped everything upside down. Hours after the fight footage spread like wildfire, an anonymous account began leaking cryptic details that suggested this wasn't just about Scrappy's love life at all. It was about money, betrayal, and something far darker. The account, which claimed to be close to the situation, alleged that the confrontation at the club wasn't sparked solely by jealousy or Scrappy flaunting his new girl. Instead, it hinted that Bambi had been sitting on knowledge about a financial scandal involving Scrappy and his circle. Supposedly, the fight wasn't random, it was a heated fallout over unpaid money tied to shady deals. And Jasmine, Rashida, and even young Jock's names were dragged into the whispers. Fans immediately began piecing the puzzle together. Why had Scrappy gone live so aggressively after the fight? Why had his new girl posted so confidently, as if she was untouchable? And why did the club's surveillance footage mysteriously vanish just hours after the incident, despite multiple witnesses insisting cameras were rolling? Then came the alleged voice note leak. An audio file circulated online late into the night, claiming to be Bambi's voice, yelling, "You think you've gone play me and owe me money? We airing everything out tonight." Whether real or fake, it sent the internet into meltdown. Suddenly, the fight wasn't just messy, it was potentially tied to secrets that could shake Atlanta's hip-hop scene to its core. Insiders whispered that producers at Love and Showcase and was at Love and Slide's show. And we all know I've been exploring that. And we all know I've been exploring that path. Suddenly, the fight wasn't just. Was with saying my show, with my seasons 11. We said my Caliday. Unwhite we said. We said me at we say said san we said we decor san we said we say see we say can san with con with like casita we kai we see kuku you ski kai go get you you could we did a cutie you kai cat with I we if I do we think kick the I you with the we were at the kiss I kick you with that new I quick that we I got Hip-Hop Atlanta had already held an emergency call with the cast, terrified that off-camera scandals were about to eclipse everything they had filmed. They're panicking, One alleged insider said, "This isn't the storyline they thought they'd be dealing with, but it's way bigger." Meanwhile, Bambi herself went silent. For someone who usually claps back quickly, her silence was deafening. Fans speculated she was either planning a massive comeback statement or had been legally advised to stay quiet. On the flip side, Scrappy's new girl doubled down, posting a picture of herself with a bag of money emoji and the caption, "Secured." That post alone fueled theories that she knew exactly what the anonymous account had been talking about. But the biggest cliffhanger came when another post surfaced, supposedly from someone inside the club. They claimed that there was full video, footage of the fight, not the shaky clips circulating online, but clear surveillance that showed what really sparked the altercation. The post ended with a chilling line, "When y'all see the tape." It won't just ruin one relationship, it's going to end careers. Fans instantly flooded the comments, begging for the tape to leak. Some even claimed they'd seen snippets already being shopped to blogs for thousands of dollars. If true, meant the scandal wasn't just gossip anymore. It was about to become a nuclear bomb in the world of hip-hop reality TV, as dawn broke in Atlanta. The only certainty was that this story wasn't over. The fight may have ended with Bambi being dragged out of the club, but the fallout had just begun. Alleged money ties, secret tapes, and deeper betrayals threatened to unravel everything, not just Bambi and Scrappy's toxic history, but the entire Love and Hip Hop Atlanta family. And now, fans are left hanging on the edge of their seats, asking the one question that nobody can answer yet when the full tape drops. Who will survive the fallout, and whose empire will crumble? This story is far from finished, and if the whispers about that full surveillance tape are true, then what we've seen so far is only the tip of the iceberg. Bambi being dragged out of the club was dramatic enough, but the leaks about money, betrayal, and shady deals could explode into something much bigger. Will the footage finally surface and confirm all the rumors? Will Bambi clap back with her own receipts? Or will Scrappy and his new girl take control of the narrative first? One thing's for sure, Atlanta hasn't seen a scandal this wild in years. And the fallout could destroy more than just one relationship. What do you think? Was this really about love and jealousy? Or is there a bigger secret hiding in the tea? Shadows. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next update could change everything.